Como guys, my name is JBuilds and welcome back to another episode on the DragonLands Realm. I'm currently inside an armor stand, and if you look outside the window there, you'll see Rum building a big reference to Season 1. But I'll get to that in a little bit. First, I'd like to show you all around my brand new manor. So this is my brand new manor. I built it actually this morning and last night, but it's been another bit of a while since I started recording, or since I last recorded. So I guess I'll have to take you guys through a lot of stuff that's been going on. But first, I'd like to show you my manor. Currently, there is no front door, so I've just been using the deck out here. But on the deck, I have two very nice little chairs. You go inside, and there's a bunch of little tables and shelves everywhere. I have a nice map of just the Avalon City. I got maps here, maps here. Over there is Spawn. You can see the tip of Avalon, and I'll get to that big white and red thing in a bit. And then you can see all the paths going around and everything, and I have a bunch of new stuff over here that you'll see outlined. I'll get to all of that in a bit, but first, let's check out the manor. So right here, I have my second kitchen. It's got a smoker. It's got some of the classic furnaces. I love this design of a furnace with the detector rail used as kind of the grill part, and then the cauldron with water. And then over here I have sort of a Victorian inspired kind of a window, one of those windows that shuts out. I don't exactly know the name of it, but I've got a nice little view of the area out here. Of course, there's a lot of junk out my window, but I do have a nice view of like the garden here, all the flowers and the ocean, so that's cool. If I go down further, I have a couch with another view of the town. I have some more storage, bookshelves, I got the armor stand, and I have my own little library right here. So that's pretty cool. There's also this cool little ladder down here, and I think you'll all agree with me when I say that these windows are pretty cool. The windows here, they step down and they have the glass a step down, and I think that's a really interesting design, and I'm glad I implemented it. I also have the checkered floor using concrete powder, and I decided to use concrete powder instead of actual concrete just because it gives a bit more texture to the floor and it looks a bit more like a granite in real life. I have the first kitchen down here, a bit more organized. There's a lot more going on here, a lot of shelving, and I have a big bookcase where you go down and you get a nice view here, a nice window, and this little area, which I have yet to develop, but it's going to be somewhat of a secret tunnel, kind of an elevator thing. I also have this big tower, which goes around and connects to every floor, and it goes all the way up to the top and gives me a nice view here of all of this area, all this big area, and Rumwoogie's base, and that is looking fantastic, ginormous, lot of shapes going on there. Also, for some reason, stars in my base. And then I've also done some work on the city of Avalon. There's a lot left to do, but the main part of the city is looking fantastic. I have this little rail network here. I'm even going to start working on a subway line here. It's going to go all the way through, and then up here I have a nice map of the entire Spawn Island. You can see Avalon there, you can see the city, all of the stuff that I just showed you. In addition, I have this walkway going over. There's the manor looking amazing. And then I have all the streets and all the houses. They all have their own kind of situation going on. They all look a lot different from each other, but they all give one feel. And it's the feel, it's spot on, it's exactly what I was looking for. Where on the outside, these look like something you would see they look like a mix of something you'd see in a city and something you'd see in an old Victorian town, maybe like something inspired by London. But in addition, they also, on the inside, look like something you would find in like a modern apartment complex. They look like they're more modern. Some of them have an open concept feel, and they make use of space in important ways. In addition, over here I have some penthouses and some big towers going up. They're not going to cast a shadow on this area, and in fact I might surround them with some smaller houses. I might do something with the village houses either also, but it's going to be nice. Over in this direction, I have a nice little area here, some patios, some lights, all kinds of things. This area looks beautiful at night. I'll be sure to get an image of this area at night. And then I have kind of an old street that is supposed to look like it was made a while back. It's Market Street, and Market Street has big bushes, and it's got a view of some older houses, and you got some of these like little marketplaces here. That would be really nice. And then it kind of fades off. And then over in this direction, we go through this tunnel, and you come to this area. This area sort of confuses me. It sort of confuses me because I'm planning on making this area both industrialized because of the fact that the water's right here, and I can add docks, and I can add a lot of machinery going in, and I have the train line right here. But I also want it to feel like a beach house setting. So I've put in some structure for some beach houses and like cottages, and they'll all be uniform in the way that I'm going to make them all maybe a faded blue. They're going to have faded blues, they're going to have stones, and they're going to look like something you would find at a beach. And they're going to look kind of like cozy little cottages. I want to definitely do something with this area because right now this area looks kind of bad, and I want to turn it into a bit of a cave and a bit of like a thing that will like something to explore. And then so that's just about it with Avalon so far. The city of Avalon, at least. Avalon itself, Avalon Industries, has expanded to the left and to the top, and a little bit to the right, even. So I had to remove the security doors. These stayed up for a good while, but people kept breaking the door. They would put random items into the hoppers, they would take out items from the hoppers, and it would completely break the door. And I couldn't do anything about it. They just, like, I had to keep going down and resetting it, and nothing ever worked. But on the inside of Avalon, I've added a lot of things for sale. I have Atlas the cat in here, and Cameron the dog, which is Rum's dog. We've added some things for sale, added different blocks, so we're going to be expanding the catalog. Ooga Bunga has decided that he wants to put his wool in Avalon, and we're letting him put the wool in Avalon for free. And we also apparently sell flat screen TVs, but actually, they're not really just for watching TV. They are for getting into our bunker kind of a thing. And we also had L2 come inside twice, but Rum made this room. But we did have L2 get inside here twice. But again, Rum made this thing. It looks really good, and I'm hoping that it's going to stay. In addition, we have a small room underneath Avalon as well. This is our farm room, and so far it looks really bad. And I know that, but we're getting lots of wool. For some reason, there's sand in there. Why is there sand in there? But we're getting lots of wool from this farm. This is an automatic sheep farm, and I'm going to turn it off for now because it does cause some lag spikes. But this is an automatic sheep farm, and it works fantastically. It works amazing. I have a whole AFK spot in. Why did I do that? I have a whole AFK spot in here. I have a little system here going down. Over here is going to be drops from our gunpowder farm because I'm going to put that together. But this is a pretty complicated system. But those are the only two farms down here, and I'm hoping to get more. In addition, up here we have some kelp that we can farm. We haven't really farmed it yet. It's just kind of sitting there. And up there is how I fixed the door. I had to fly up there and manually reset it every time, which was annoying. In addition, up here in the crop area, I added a few more bone meal makers just because the cactus farm was producing so much cactus. I cleared out, this double chest was down to row 3 full of cactus, and I cleared out a ton of it. I cleared out all of it. I put it in the bone meal machine, and it's still making a ton of cactus every day. It just continues to farm cactus. It's hilariously efficient. In addition, over here, this whole area is going to be the mob farm, or the creeper farm, and it's going to work quite well. Nothing really is new up on top of Avalon besides the overlooming that which I'll get to in a moment. Oh wow, okay, get out. But up here we have some villagers and some golems have spawned as well. But they're just kind of here to be here and farm crops, many of which it seems like they're just kind of trampling on. Right here, the big carousel is actually a mob farm. Underneath this, it is constantly spawning mobs and bringing them down the chute into a system that is in this building right here. And it gives us, these are just filler items, it gives us no gunpowder yet. It hasn't given us much gunpowder. And if we go down the chute, it gives us arrows, bones, string, and other, except the problem is it doesn't actually work. I tried building a mob farm myself without following a tutorial, and it doesn't work. It does not work. It doesn't work. So I don't really understand the problem. Theoretically it should work. There's chambers for the mobs to spawn in, and then I have little timers going that'll release water and wash them into the center. But it just refuses to work. I don't know why. If any of you are redstone experts out there, maybe recommend a good mob farm tutorial, because I'm probably going to build another one and I just don't really have the time to take this all down. What I can do, though, that I've gotten the idea, is I added a bunch of red and I added a bunch of red and white wool and some glowstone and of course torch spam on the top. But I'm going to turn this into a carnival ride. So it's going to be something like when you go to like a carnival or a theme park, they usually have that big rotating circle, the swings, where it's got those big swings hanging off of it. I think I'm going to try and do that, except using the elytra. So my plan is I'm going to make a series of rings going around it, and it's going to be like an elytra course almost, but it's going in a circle. So you have to continue to go through all the rings, and I might even be able to attach it to different parts of Avalon. But it's going to be like a mini elytra course in Avalon. And I got the idea from a few places that I want to give credit to. I got the idea from Grian, who's a major YouTuber that you've probably heard of. And he did an elytra course in Hermitcraft Season 6. That's another much larger SMP server that is on YouTube. But he made a bigger elytra course. And I also got the idea from Star. Star decided that he might want to make an elytra course at one point. I don't know if he still has that plan, but that would be. I might want to talk to him about making my own thing, just so he doesn't get upset if I just make one and it sounds like I'm copying his idea. So I did get the idea from Star as well. But in addition, in Avalon, I have a few more things that I'm going to work on. I'm going to build on the very tippy top of Avalon, up there. I'm going to build a castle. Like the castle from Season 2. I'm going to build like another one, but it's going to be mostly stone and terracotta. And I'm going to build another castle, and it's going to be neat. And it's also going to be on top of this modern-esque skyscraper. It's going to look really strange, but I think it'll be a cool thing to top off Avalon, because I'm about ready to be done building up this structure. Now, of course, I will also have area over here, like the creeper farm, that I can also build on top of, and I can build out from it and build on top of this eyesore. But I'm probably going to be over the season just constantly expanding Avalon little by little. But I want to get a full structure done before I just continue to expand it a bit, so that it looks complete and I don't have to worry about, quickly making a top to it or doing this and that, so that it looks complete for now, and I can add little details here and there and little floors, and it'll still have the same feeling of completion. So that's something. I also finished the monorail. The monorail is a big system that takes minecarts all around the spawn island. So we start here at shopping. We go over this cool little hill that Lego Realm made. We take a stop at the shopping district stop. You go around and you go past the stock exchange, which we will get to in a bit. You continue on here and go past Avalon, the employee station. Then you take a few turns and you start heading towards the city of Avalon, which is looking mighty fantastic. And I just realized up there, my watchtower on my banner kind of looks like a dark brown version of the Eye of Sauron from Lord of the Rings. That would be kind of funny to make my manor the Eye of Sauron. I don't know. But then it stops at Avalon, turn on the thing, turn it back off, and we continue. You can also stop there and get on the subway, which is going to be on an entirely different track. For some reason, chunks aren't loading here, but this takes us past Avalon Beach and Rum Space, which I might add a little stop to on the subway. The subway is going to be its own project. But then we get to go past this little curve, go over here past the statue of Rum, which is supposed to be the statue from Season 1 that Rum put in my town, Buildsville. But it's looking like something else. And hopefully, if any of you know what this looks like, then just put it in the comments, because I'm feeling a little... I feel like this is a reference to a certain figure. I think the entire server's just been gnomed. I think we've been gnome. It's the gnome meme. Anyway, the track also goes around, makes a stop at the quartz towers, and it continues on, and it goes all the way out to this area, which is the basis of a small group that some of us like to call the Lego Realm group. And this is just a group of people who kind of have put together their own little commune here, and kind of all banded together and built this cool little place. They also have a courtroom, which I want to check out. Is this the courtroom? This isn't the courtroom. This is a hut. Nice. I believe this is the courtroom. This is a restaurant. They built a courtroom. I'm just having a bit of trouble finding it. I think I might have found it. This is big. Wow. This is looking fantastic. The Grand Ralouge Courthouse. I have no idea what Ralouge is. It looks like it's still a work in progress, but wow, this looks cool. I like this. Speaking of, this just reminded me of the court case from Season 2. We still haven't built the Temple of Otto, or the Court of Otto. And I think that's something we should get started on soon. Oh wow, I just hit glass that I couldn't even see. Anyway, so a lot of new stuff has kind of popped up in the area, and it's really amazing. We also have an iron farm again. Uga and I got together, and we put together an iron farm. It looks like the item filter has finally been fixed, which is nice. But yeah, this was a lot of fun to make. And it's been pulling in more poppies than iron. How is that possible? It's been pulling in more poppies than iron. That's kind of funny. Anyway, so that is all that's kind of new on the realm. But I also have a lot of stuff that I want to get working on. But before I show you that, I just realized that I haven't showed you guys the stock exchange, and of course my elytra just broke. So I have no elytra for the rest of this episode. Yay. But I have to show you guys the stock exchange. The stock exchange is like the Season 1 stock exchange, but it's going to be much more grand and much more organized. First of all, there is a snack bar down here that I've set up. And it looks very modern-esque, even though it's completely underground and is a huge tunnel. And I did the laziest of things and just replaced granite and stuff on these walls. But it's really interesting. So inside here we have a meeting room with a cool red tile instead of the normal black. This is my seat, of course, and I have a book there that is completely empty. And since it's my seat, I think I'm just gonna, what? Why can't I? I could do that in the, huh, that's weird. Wait a second. There we go. Now it worked. That was a weird glitch. Anyway, there's my seat. There's also these two little boxes here, but I'll get to all that in a moment because it's a bit tricky to explain, but it's very organized. Over here is an input and a collection area. So what happens is, in these chests, people invest in our companies. So they will put in a certain amount of diamonds in these chests. Once they put those diamonds in the chests, they then, every Friday of every week, collect a certain percentage of our revenue in their chests. So far, Altu, Star, and Uga have all invested in Avalon. They all put diamonds in this chest, and they're going to get diamonds in their chests, respectively, every Friday from a percentage of our revenue. Over here is where we put in all the diamonds that we want them to invest, and over here is where we collect the diamonds from them. So, looks like someone has invested diamonds in Uga. I don't know how he managed that, but someone invested diamonds in Uga, and it went through this tunnel and made its way into here. In addition, over here, I got money from Star. Star put it in, it went through, came here. Also, over here are these chests that we put it in, and it goes into the meeting room. And there's a bunch of stuff on the walls there that is normal. But if anyone were to invest in Avalon, let's say, and they didn't have their name over there, they would come over here and collect it from one of these chests during a meeting. We would have a meeting every so often days. But the stock exchange is much more organized, and I'm really happy to see that people are actually investing this season instead of just letting it go. In addition, I also have to do a video on Sherlock builds because I actually have a few mysteries in the Sherlock builds area. But so for the last bit of this episode, I'm going to kind of take you guys through what I'm going to be doing in the future. So I have a lot of plans and a lot of things on my to-do list. The first thing is I need to build up this high density area in Avalon. I have to build it up with apartment buildings, high densities, high rises and penthouses, and all kinds of little things that will rise up above the skyline of Avalon and kind of give it a bit more of a feeling, that sort of like powerful feeling. And I also might expand it over here a little bit, connect it with this sort of path, and connect it to this area. But I will also have to put in a wall and boundaries for Avalon. Now, of course, we have a natural boundary over here in the forest, and this sort of hilly area. No one is building past this area, so we have our own natural boundary here for the beach town. But up here in the actual bit of Avalon, down in this area, we don't have a natural boundary. So I want to create a I want to create an artificial boundary over in this area. Down here, we have a natural boundary in this sort of sink. But I want to add fences or bushes or something that will sort of separate Avalon from the rest of this area of the realm so that it has its own dignified spot in the realm. I also want to do stuff with this hill right here, and I want to add some greenery, and I want to add some stuff on this teeny little area. In addition, over here in the beach town, I'm going to be building it up and turning it into a small little beach town. I'm going to add some small shops, some small houses, but most importantly, I'm going to add industry. There will be gantry cranes, there will be cranes, there will be shipping containers, and there might even be a train line going through the subway, coming out to Rum Space and taking a left or a right. In addition, over in this area, I'm going to be building up the forest so that there's more forest to kind of contain the beach town and to separate it. I also have some work to do on Avalon. I have to build up a castle in that area, and I have to finish my creeper farm, which is probably going to extend quite high. I need to decorate this mob farm and turn it into that Elytra course slash carnival game that I really wanted to do. And I'm also going to build a second mob farm around the back, one that actually works, because this one right now just kind of seems like it's decoration and it doesn't really work. In addition, the little plaza of Avalon here, I might take it down and turn it into more area on Avalon, or extend it out this way and add some shopping space. Small little 4x4 shops for people to take up and rent out at like $1 a shop, maybe. And finally, I need to finish building up just this area in general. I need to create area over here and build it up so that it looks like everything around Avalon is slowly getting smaller and smaller until you get to the shopping district, so that Avalon doesn't look like a sore thumb in the middle of a growing shopping district. That is the most important thing, because right now, with nothing across the street from Avalon, it just looks like a big mess right in the middle of the shopping district. It really looks really all over the place and messy. But I'm going to clean it up and I'm going to turn it into a pristine, big area. It's not just a building anymore, it's an area. And that's what I'm going for. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Dragonlands. Off camera or on camera, I'm going to be doing a lot of work on creating all of the new stuff for Avalon, for the city of Avalon, and all that. I'm also going to be doing a lot of work on the monorail and checking out some new area out here. But thank you guys for watching, and goodbye. And the last thing that I want to show you all is this little flag area. It has a list of every flag on the realm, and there's actually people that are starting to build it up. But thank you guys for watching, and goodbye.